The most unexpected sentence actually appeared in a short live broadcast lasting 7 minutes, when Jungkook together with the other BTS members imitated an emotional greeting that said, "Miss you my wife," and surprisingly addressed it to ARMY. Instantly the moment invited a wave of unusual reactions. Screams, tears, to feelings of shock mixed with happiness that flooded the comment section and social media. How could a simple phrase, uttered in the middle of a casual interaction, trigger such a large euphoria? That question has now become the center of attention among fans and popular culture observers. The phenomenon that occurred in that live was not merely light conversation, but a symbol of the emotional closeness that BTS continues to build with fans. When the phrase "miss you my wife" was heard, many ARMY felt as if the distance that separated them from their idols suddenly disappeared. Not a few admitted to crying because the sentence was considered a form of confession of affection deeper than usual. Although spoken in a relaxed atmosphere, the impact it caused was actually far more serious. A stronger sense of connectedness, a narrative of closeness that was established, and an emotional bond that seemed renewed. From the perspective of mass communication, this event shows how a simple verbal symbol can move a global community. The words that sounded personal, psychologically, created a sense of exclusivity for fans. ARMY felt that they were not only seen as an audience, but as a more intimate part of their idol's life. This is what then made the emotional reaction widespread, because the sentence was captured as a form of appreciation as well as longing wrapped in an expression full of warmth. The wave of comments crowding social media after the live became concrete proof. Hundreds of thousands of posts with related hashtags immediately dominated global trends in just minutes. Many ARMY wrote that they felt like given a special status, while others admitted to crying endlessly because the sentence sounded like an unexpected pledge of affection. The impact was not only emotional, but also cultural. The public once again realized how great BTS's influence is in shaping the dynamics of interaction between artist and fan in the digital era. This context also shows how BTS, especially Jungkook, truly understands the power of language in maintaining intimacy with the audience. An expression that sounds simple, if spoken by a figure with global influence, can create deep resonance that transcends geographic and linguistic boundaries. ARMY in various countries, regardless of their cultural background, simultaneously felt the same emotions: surprised, touched, and feeling closer. This is the power of transnational communication that has been a hallmark of BTS. However, the question that then arises is, was the sentence "miss you my wife" really intended seriously, or merely a spontaneous joke? This is where lies the tension that actually makes the moment even more interesting. The uncertainty of interpretation encourages fans to continue discussing it, dissecting context, and even searching for hidden meaning. For some observers, this event is an indirect communication strategy to maintain public attention. While for ARMY, the literal meaning of the words is no longer important, because the emotional impact it produced is more than enough. The emotional reaction of ARMY also shows how the idol-fan relationship in the modern era has gone beyond traditional boundaries. If in the past interaction between artists and fans was only limited to stage and applause, now a short sentence in a virtual space can change the mood of millions of people. ARMY no longer only consumes musical works, but also builds deep emotional relationships with every expression and gesture shown by their idol. It is not surprising that many fans describe the moment as the biggest emotional surprise in recent months. Some even call it a reminder that BTS remains consistent in showing love to ARMY in the midst of a busy schedule and a situation full of pressure. The expression is seen as a symbol that time, distance, and physical distance never really prevent the bond that has been established. The moment "miss you my wife" also shows how fandom works as a collective ecosystem. In a matter of seconds, ARMY in various parts of the world shared screenshots, video clips, to personal interpretations. This process formed a shared narrative that increasingly strengthened the meaning of the moment. From a mere spontaneous utterance, it developed into a cultural event that was consumed, debated, and celebrated together. Finally, this event shows one thing for sure. In the world of K-pop, every word, every gesture, and every interaction never stands alone. The expression "miss you my wife" that appeared in the short live has proven how strong the emotional resonance between BTS and ARMY is. Although it lasted only a few seconds, its impact felt far longer. ARMY cried not only because the sentence sounded sweet, but because they felt an increasingly close relationship with the idol they had loved all this time. And perhaps that is the true essence of this phenomenon, that a simple sentence is capable of shaking millions of hearts around the world. The latest development that originated from a 7-minute live broadcast places us at a point of reflection that must be addressed with great caution and sharp analysis. Did the "Miss You My Wife" event spoken in that brief moment really reflect a sincere expression? Or was it a form of fabrication engineered to mobilize public attention? A single sentence that seemed light urges us to ask again about the boundaries between authenticity and public strategy in the modern entertainment industry. As observers and consumers of information, we must place skepticism as an intellectual tool, not merely a cynical attitude. Critical questions about the origin of the recording, the context of speech, the time of upload, as well as the motives of the party uploading become very important. Did the clip come from an official channel, or was it taken from a manipulated fragment? Is there additional evidence, for example the full recording, timestamped screenshots, or confirmation from the label/agency, that strengthens the claim? It needs to be emphasized that platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter provide space for viral content very quickly, but are not a guarantee of truth. The ability to edit video, the use of clips taken out of context, as well as monetization policies that incentivize views can trigger practices of sensationalism. Are we careful enough to filter which ones come directly from official broadcasts, and which are compilations or editorial cuts that can be misleading? At every step, there are ethical questions that must be asked. Is the purpose of spreading this content to build authentic emotional relationships between artists and fans, or to produce public sentiment for the sake of exposure and material gain? How is the responsibility of social media and the parties organizing content towards the potential psychological impact on millions of fans who are easily influenced? Encouraging a more mature discussion means rejecting a single narrative and opening space for multi-perspective verification. Ask for evidence that can be audited. Complete recordings from primary sources, official statements from the parties concerned, video file metadata, and technical analysis that can reveal manipulation. Without that evidence, we face the danger of accepting sensational narratives that enrich rumors but empty facts. Further questions that need to be the reader's attention are: to what extent are we willing to let personal emotions influence factual judgment? Are collective cries of joy or emotion a sufficient reason to stop the verification process? Or should those feelings be a trigger to delve deeper into the truth, while maintaining a balance between empathy and critical reasoning? The following provocative statement needs to be reflected on. If a simple sentence can move millions of hearts, then a hoax that is well designed can also reshape public perception in a matter of hours. Who benefits if attention is diverted from substantive issues to mere sensations? And are we willing to be part of an ecosystem that produces and spreads sensation without examining its roots of truth? In practice, verification steps that can be taken by each individual include checking the original source of the upload, confirming the time and duration of the broadcast through official channels, reviewing official statements from the agency, and being careful with accounts that have long been known to spread speculative content. Such proactive action is not only about seeking evidence, but also about maintaining the information ecosystem so that it is not easily manipulated by certain interests. We also invite readers to reflect on shared responsibility. How can we contribute to a healthy discourse without spreading unverified speculation? Can the fan community become guardians of information integrity, as well as protectors of the emotional well-being of the fans themselves? Finally, it is important to emphasize that the information we present comes from various media sources such as TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and several other channels, but the truth of each piece of data must be further verified. We urge readers to remain critical, prioritize verification, and refrain from spreading before reliable evidence is available. This reflection is not intended to belittle anyone's emotional experience, but to emphasize that empathy and skepticism can go hand in hand in the process of seeking responsible truth. Are you sure the event is real, or merely a sensational construction designed to attract attention? Consider your answer with evidence, not just feelings.